All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, call Laim Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai Bashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors to the apostle of this great millstone. Peace, salutations to the elect. Um, so yeah, the recent development in the news, man. You had your man, the demon himself, the nature boy, not Ric Flair. Ric Flair. Well, that was another dude who was known for being a freaky frog, man. But it had the natural nature boy. What's this guy's name? I think he went by the last name Bishop. You know, which I guess that was his legal name. But looks like he didn't really much keep the sayings of a bishop, because a bishop, the scriptures say, must be blameless, the husband of one wife. All right. So we're gonna touch on a few things here, man. I had to add my little 2 cents into this because yo, it's just crazy, man. I went and looked it up for myself. I went to see a little bit of what the fuck was going on. It looked like this guy was running his his little cult or whatever, you know, which the word cult we know means worship, right? He's running his little group for like 10 years, man. This guy was running his little sect or whatever they call it for like 10 years, man. This guy was running his thing, you know. So a few things that come to mind, like just off the bat. First of all, niggas are simple, okay? Jake is simple, and these other nations, man, they're simple too, because you had a couple of, you know, what it looked like to be other nations that was following his ass. But you had these silly ass women following him, and then you had these mole looking men that was getting down with them. So this whole situation was just messed up, man. It just messed up. All right. The scriptures say in 1 Corinthians 6, and I believe it's the 12th verse, which real quick I'm gonna go pull it up. But it says what? All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. It goes on to say, all things are lawful unto me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. All right. And this guy was brought under the power of that overly enticing lust demon, and you know, he just too much given into the flesh, man. And then on top of that, a delusion of grandeur that far exceeds the you know, the norm. All right. Because when you come into this knowledge and truth, you know, you must be of a humble mind. You know, you can't allow it to cloud your judgment. And this guy, he was totally clouded by demons and shit. But you could just tell this guy was not. He heard about the Israelites, but this guy made money off of this. You know, he made a whole bunch of people give them their life savings and all this crazy shit. I'm the Messiah and all kind of just madness, man. All right, but say what you want about the nigga, but you could tell the persuasive power that nigga had. See, because at the end of the day, it all goes back to this flesh, and that's why they was involved in them damn rituals. You know, with having orgies and all kind of shit that they was passing these women around, allegedly, like Kwame Brown said, everything allegedly, right? Well, allegedly, because we don't have the physical proof right in front of us, all right? The jury and the so-called white woman judge, she was quick to drop the hammer on his ass, you know? There was they had the clip where he was speaking to the judge and all that, and the judge was just letting him have it. You're the definition of a narcissist. You're the worst thing ever, which the nigga was. You know, he was wicked, but you see the energy that they have for them white boys that do certain similar shit like this. They don't come down them nearly as hard as they do Jake. Jake do something, man. It's like, you know, you're the cannibal of the. You're like Ted Bundy mixed with Harvey Weinstein mixed with Epstein mixed with all these dudes all in one. That's how they try to label the Israelites when they, you know, when Jake goes off and does some dumb shit, like when R. Kelly, you know, did their they pulled out the information on when they pulled out the information on him, man, they dragged that nigga through the mud. Oh, surviving R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, all this shit. So the judge they didn't stop to take no opportunity to dig this nigga a grave, you know. But this is why the scriptures say a bishop must be blameless. So you don't give nobody anything to say. But the man's name was Bishop, last name Bishop, some African looking first name, but last name Bishop, which I didn't even pull up the article or anything because it's all through the spirit, you know. It's all through the spirit. Because the information, basically the dude was running the cult, man. And they was doing all kind of witchcraft and wickedness. And, you know, there was abuses going on, all kind of shit, man. But this is why the scriptures say what? Make not thyself an underling to a foolish man. This guy was a fool, man. This fucking nigga was a fool, and you niggas was following his ass, man. You know? This Bishop, last name Bishop, whatever his nature boy. What they would call, oh, the God name is, we have a Messiah. His name is Nature Boy. Well, how fucking simple can you be? All right? That's why the scripture says, search out the scriptures. For in them you think you have life, right? Search the scriptures, man. All right? People, they're not searching the scriptures. That's why you end up following after some monkey who doesn't understand the scriptures. He's not speaking the prophecies. You know? So anyways, first Corinthians 6 and verse 12 says, all things are lawful unto me. All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. All right, it's not lawful to, you know, deal with no men and have some type of weird fucking cult. But it is lawful for you to. It is lawful for you to get women. It is lawful for you to have wives. So it wasn't wrong that the man went and got some women. But what was wrong was the fact that nigga they were doing all kind of weird shit. You're supposed to have your wives in order. I guarantee you they was doing some weird shit with the 3 women on one. One of them was beating the other one ass. All kind of weird stuff going on, man. You know, all kind of freaky behavior, man. Debauchery going on, man. You know, when the scriptures say your body is a temple and your woman's supposed to be chaste, man. You know, you look at them women, they was wearing head wraps and shit. You know, they had their little coverings or whatever. And they really believed that guy was like, you know, sent from God, you know. Oh, he was sent from God on the left-hand side, though. He was sent from the spirit to deceive you. Because the Lord said what? The deceiver and the deceived are his. So there's the Lord that chose your strong delusion. If whatever's going on in your life, the Lord did that to you, man. Lord chose the condition. Proverbs 20:24. Man's goings of the Lord, how can a man that understand his own way? So them people were led astray by that guy, you know, which now he's serving life in prison. But hey, something should be done to them motherfucking dumbasses, man, because they was following after some dumbass, man. The scripture say, if the blind lead the blind, both fall into the ditch. You know, so yeah, some sick shit, man. Some sick shit, but that's what happens when you give it over to the flesh. All right, the women, we're not in our kingdom, like I put in the title of the video again. So I said all that to say this: we're not in our kingdom. All right, of Micah 2:10, arise ye depart from this, not your rest. We're not in our kingdom. We're not in our rest. We're not living where we're supposed to be living. So don't expect a bunch of women on this side. That's why the scriptures say a bishop must be the husband of one wife, not because it's unlawful for you to have other women. That's not what it's. But it's unlawful for you to. It's not expedient. Okay, it is lawful for you to get women, but it's not expedient. It's not productive right now for you to do that. And in the time to come, when all hell breaks loose, you can have a bunch of women. That's when Isaiah 4:1 them you'll kick it. But right now, you know, the time is not for you to, you know, get a bunch of women. This is not the time for you to be getting a bunch of women. You know, having to starting a cult, you know, starting a sisterhood and getting a bunch of, you know, okay, that's what happens. You know, more than likely they're gonna be your downfall, man. They're gonna be the reason why your ass get locked up in prison. They're gonna lie and say you did this or that, whatever. Not saying that the people were lying, but you know, hey, all wickedness is little, but to the wickedness of a woman, let the portion of a sinner fall upon him. So, hey, whatever wickedness was going on with that nigga, with that guy, you know that them women were more wicked. They were more wicked. They're more wicked than that nigga, man. But all the hell, all the onus is gonna go on the dude, you know, because in this society, somebody got to be the scapegoat. Who gets the blame? More than likely, it's always gonna be the black man. All right. But all the people was in it. All the people was in that shit. He's the one that's getting life in prison. Hey, but that's what happens when you make a deal with the devil. I'm pretty sure that dude, you know, he wasn't just like, you know, they said he was like going to country. Like they were in Ecuador. He let one girl die or some shit like that. And then all kind of just madness, man. All kind of just crazy madness. You know what I mean? Like he let one nigga die. And then, you know, he didn't want to give medical supplies to some woman, so she ended up dying. I mean, just all kind of madness, man. All kind of craziness. You know, all kind of craziness. They said they were whipping each other and shit. They would make other people watch. And it's all kind of madness. Hey, but that's the world, bro. That's how these people get down, yo. And when nobody's watching, man, all kind of shit goes going down. All these people are freaky, man. All these people are into weird sex rituals, man. You know, whether they be normal people or people in Hollywood, everybody's on some. Everybody's on some 50 Shades of Grey shit. Hey, but that's what happens when that lust gets to you. It overcomes you. It destroys you, man. It destroys you. See, Jay got talents. You know, they're able to. The scriptures say what? The scriptures say Jacob is a supplanter. That's what the word means, supplanter, right? Jake's that dude. What's his name? Nature Boy. He seduced all them people and all them women. He seduced their asses very good. He could have used them powers to do good, right? To do. He could have used his charisma and all that shit. His way of to preach the gospel or whatever, right? But he wasn't a chosen vessel unto righteousness. But as many are called for chosen, right? I'm not saying that the Lord called him into the truth, but I'm sure he heard about the Israelites, you know. But yeah, the fact of the matter is that we live in a perverse, wicked ass society, man, where there's a lot of filth going on, bro. There's a lot of filth. That's why the scriptures speak about keep yourself pure, man. All right. 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 23, it says, all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful, but all things edify not. Let no man seek his own, but every man another's wealth. Yeah, seek not your own, but seek another man's wealth. See, seek the prosperity of your brothers, right? Whatsoever sold in the shambles they eat, ask no question for conscience sake. For the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, right? So this guy was like, I'm the Messiah, and you know, the second coming of the Lord. And he was saying, he did say that you know, the dark. Basically, he was giving a pro-black message with a bunch of just bullshit up in there, with a bunch of just, you know, confusion. You know, you say one good thing, and then the rest of the shit be bullshit. That's the majority of these black Afrocentric guys that are like really into this, like, you know, black man thing. You know, a lot of them are like this guy. You know, a lot of them just they get bugged out. They get too deep into the rabbit hole. They start to become like Sunitter. You know, all them guys remind me of Sunitter, man. All them Nature Boy guys, Sunitter, you know, Gorilla Hebrew. They're the same tip. They ain't even the Gorilla Hebrew. They making $100,000 off of the ministry, man. You know, setting up GoFundMe's and shit. You know, having all these events and shit going on. Where do you think they get all this money off the congregation? But the same thing this guy Nature Boy did, man. Nature Boy is he just had the difference that he was just in like a more demonic bugged out zone where he was just like putting his demons on these people and they already lost in the world, so they're just following some blind leader. That's why you're so blessed to have the truth. You're very blessed. All of us are blessed to have this truth, man. Because at the end of the day, man, shit could get much worse. You could be like one of them people out there, man, up shit's creek with no paddle. Because they're in a world of hurt right now. They're in a world of hurt, sitting in a jail cell. That guy's sitting in a jail cell. Some other people are, they're out there in the sunken place, feeling used and abused. Okay, so all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. 1 Corinthians 10:23. All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. Let no man seek his own, but every man another's wealth. Yeah, so this guy was seeking his own. He was seeking his own, his own glory on his side. The scripture say, I must decrease and he must increase. All right. We're supposed to decrease so that the Lord will increase. And ultimately he'll bring you along. But they don't want to wait. They don't want to wait. They want their cake and eat it now. Do some fake PPP loans, give me all the money because God says so. And blah blah blah. It's unreasonable. The scripture say, let us be delivered from wicked, unreasonable men, for all men have not the faith. And that's some unreasonable shit this guy was doing with these people, man. Doing all kind of freaky, weird, demonic shit, and then, quoting a couple Bible scriptures, So that's what happens with these. That's why it says many false pastors, shall rise and deceive many. 2 Timothy 2:5, it says, if a man strive, actually verse 4, no man that warreth entangle himself with the affairs of his life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. See, this guy was totally involved with the affairs of his life, trying to get 7 wives and 7, and look, none of them was ugly. I mean, there was a couple of them that was probably like bigger or whatever, but like he had some attractive, decent looking chicks, decent looking. I ain't gonna say like they were like super crazy and whatnot, But there were women that any of these jigs would deal with. Any of these jigs will pop them, So one of them had face tattoos and shit like that. Whatever, what can you expect? But you could tell that, Jake is a supplanter because he picked all of their asses out the roster, and he had them following him like some lost dogs, worshiping him, talking about throwing up gangs, throwing up the 666 dances. Every time they mentioned his name, they kept throwing up the 666 and all that shit, man. And you can see on that picture where they're throwing up the Vesica Pisces and whatever the rest they're throwing up. They're throwing up the devil horns and they're throwing up, yeah, man. They're sitting there and they're talking about, kidnapping. One of the charges was kidnapping, and them women, I mean, they didn't look like they was kidnapped. They looked like they was there on their own will, like, who knows, man? Who knows? They came on the interview, said they're trying to frame the man, because some of the women think that they're jealous because they couldn't have Mr. Bishop for themselves and all this shit, Hey, well, yeah, of course, possibly because we understand that the woman is jealous, and she's been programmed in this world to just believe that she's supposed to be the only woman you ever talk to in your life. But nah, man, it's a sick world we live in, man. It's a sick fucking world we live in, man. Very sick. So if a man strive for the masteries, he is not crowned except he strive lawfully, man. You gotta strive for the masteries lawfully. All right. 2 Peter 2 and verse 7. It says, and deliver just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, but that righteous man dwelling amongst them, and seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. Right. So when you hear this type of shit, man, when you call yourself teaching the scriptures and all that, call yourself being in the faith, The scripture say be separate. Them dudes was worse. They're worse than niggas in the world. They're worse. They're over there having the Babylon movie and full life. You know, they're over there performing everything they see on the XXX videos, and they're calling themselves believing in the Most High, the Messiah. That's how you know they're bugged out, a double-minded man, unstable in all their ways, man. All right, but they should go to prison for stupidity, man. Their asses should go straight to prison for being dumbasses, man. You know, they should get the same fate as the false prophet. They should get the same fate, because you're supposed to have your wits about you, man. All right. All things are lawful unto us, and all things are not expedient. We're not here to get a bunch of women on this side. All right. Even though this truth is the women gonna come either way it goes, because that's the ultimate thing that come with success. When women could be coming with success, this truth is about the victory, right? Success, victory. So hey, part of the condition. The Lord said, "Be fruitful and multiply," but you got to know how to deal with these women, man. And this guy, even though yes, was able to seduce them and all that shit, and he was able to pop them all and have them all under his spell, he didn't really know what he was doing, because now look at you in prison. You could end up in prison behind dealing with a bunch of women. And his unbridled lust led to this condition that he is now in prison. It says debauch, to seduce or entice, to lead astray, entice from work or duty, to make a beam. All right, shaving. Okay, that's verb, the verb form. Debauchery, excessive indulgence in sensual pleasures of any kind. Noun. All right, so it's a excessive indulgence in any kind of pleasure, and a sensual variety in this case. All right. So debauchery, man, that's a cult of debauchery. It says worship homage, right? When they talk about, oh, that's when you see them sitting there worshiping, bowing down before, so say, call no man on the earth your father, right? Well, because there's one Father in heaven, right? Or the Most High. You're not supposed to call them the Most High, all right? Scripture say, if us or another angel from heaven preach unto you any other gospel, and then which ye have received, let him be accursed, right? So this is the time we're living. We're living in a time. Hey, but this guy was doing it for 10+ years, and he got caught up. I think it was like in the end of 2022, somewhere around there, man. He been sitting there awaiting this trial, this verdict, and they finally gave the verdict as of this month. So the verdict was that the nigga was guilty, but it took them this long to, you know, basically come out and say that the guy was guilty. But because you know how Esau's justice works, it take its sweet old time to come, and most of the time it's never the right judgment. Like even OJ, you know them, OJ killed all them people, all right, allegedly. But most people would agree that that the evidence points to the fact that the nigga did it. But they was able to play the system. You could play the system. You can't play the Most High, but you could play the system though. All right. So hey, this guy Nature Boy is a living proof that you could play the system and you could live and you could become some type of freaking cult. Hey, if this nigga, if this show you anything, this shows you that you could do anything you put your motherfucking mind to. If you put your mind to something, you could do anything. If this motherfucking country looking nigga was able to do all this stuff and take all these people and put them under this spell, have them worshiping you, and literally they was doing all kind of weird shit. Like they ain't gonna come out and say what the fuck real, but they was doing all kind of weird, freaky shit that you see on them taboo websites, man. You see on them worst word, not some normal, you know what I'm saying, everyday regular sex, but they was doing some weird, crazy, evil shit. All right, because what, they was on some debauchery time and also under spell. It says this word spell. So you got many definitions, because one of the words for spell is one of the word. So you got a few definitions for spell. You got time, like it's a spell of time. You could put a spell on somebody. You could spell the word. Like there's a few different, but this one was the noun, right? It says story, saying, tale, right? So spells also could be a tale. Story and prose as opposed to verse. History, narrative, or fable. Sermon, religious instruction. All right, so that's a spell as well. Report, discourse, tale, fable, or myth. Example, right? Utterance, something said. Unlike it says generally used for magical procedures which cause harm or force people to do something against their will. Hey, these people was doing shit supposedly against their will, right? Oh, we was getting shamed and they took our passports and da da da. But I mean, this nigga was doing that shit for 10 years, man. He was doing that for 10 years, and all of a sudden, you know, they just found out about it because I guess he was moving around, this shit like that. Hey, but just like them people that was following that followed GLCC all the way over to the other side of the world, man, to the land, and they got stuck out there. These kind of guys, like you can't be giving your money. Oh, here you go, take the money. Here you go. We just blindly follow you or to this. Or we're gonna move over here to some wood area, and you know, it's you gotta watch. Because a lot of these Israelites, that you know, they watch on YouTube, and they just follow anybody. They'll listen to us. They'll listen to, you know, they'll listen to some Christians. Then they'll listen to IUIC. Then they'll listen to you know, whoever. And they all like certain things that they hear, certain things that they don't. They throw away, and they end up with a bunch of confusion and mess in their heads, which ultimately leads them down the path of a weird bugged out freaky frog sex cult. Because ultimately the scripture says, to the pure all things are pure. Titus, the first chapter, 15 verse on down. Unto the pure all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled, unbelieving, is nothing pure. Nothing is pure, man. All right, because conscience defiled. So, you know, when you have this is why they say your mind's in the gutter. Well, these fucking people, their mind is always in the gutter. And this nigga, he got his ass thrown in prison for life with no parole, plus 10 years. All right, which he ain't gonna get up out of there. He gonna rot in the cell until the missiles come, unless they just break, you know, they let the prisoners loose or some shit like that, which may or may not happen, but which more than likely will, you know, because when all hell breaks loose, they'll find a way up out of there. The power goes out. Who knows, you know? But either way it goes, they're gonna receive their harsh judgment, man. It says a spell, charm for protection from evil spirits in the night. But it could also be used in like voodoo or Santeria and shit like that. People put spells on you, you know, or they try to at least. It said Numbers 23:23. It said there's no enchantment against Jacob, so no matter what they do, the elect, that is of Israel, the Lord is going to protect and keep underneath the guiding light or the right path. You know what I mean? So this is clearly the time that we're living in. Like false messiahs will arise and deceive many. Right? 2 Peter 2:1, it says, but there shall false prophets also amongst the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring a damnable heresy, even denying the Lord that bought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction, and many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. Yeah, so the way of truth being evil spoken of in the last days, right? But through feigned words and covetousness, they shall with feigned words make merchandise of you, and whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth. All right, so hey, that's it, man. Like this is the these are them niggas that bring in damnable heresies, denying the Lord that bought them, because they're saying that they're the Lord. Right? The scriptures say how the Lord will return, right? Come back. Like you had Tazadaki and them saying that, you know, he was the comforter and this and that. You know, same thing. You know, they put his ass in prison for, I think it was $5 million, if not more. I don't know how much it was. I think it was $5 million. Those are That's what I think I remember reading one article. And I did remember that. I think they had said that, but nevertheless, they Uncle Sam put his ass in prison, um, just like Wesley Snipes and the rest of them. The devil always come calling, and if you don't have your affairs in order, if you ain't give up your last sacrifice at ritual, you end up in prison for an extended period of time, your life in prison or whatever, man. You know. Okay, but ultimately it's the Lord that's fulfilling His word, man. All right, He'll say, "False prophets shall rise amongst the people, and they shall deceive many. If it were at all possible, they'll deceive the very elect." So if you're some type of weird, freaky cult, uh, and you end up perishing from the way, that's that's the Lord. He chose you a strong delusion, man. You know. But yeah, you gotta be very wary of what time you're living in, man. Cause this is lewdness. This is lewdness, man, and that's the flesh. It's given to lewdness. It's given to wickedness. Discipline will be them women being married to men, and they didn't have to be seeking, cause that's a bunch of lost women following after some sugar daddy, I guess, that they deem, because that's how you know that hypergamy is a real thing. They all see this guy as some big shot or whatever, and ultimately their flesh or whatever leads them to be seduced by these kind of guys, man. All right, because this ain't nothing you don't see in the hood every day. Like the rappers, they have cults of followers. Like if you go to one of these shows and you see them hoes that be lined up at the show, they worship them niggas like they're Nature Boy. And these rappers should be locked up for cult prostitution and pimping and and hey, they don't they get at drugs to other men's women and pop them, and you can see they're over there breaking up homes and shit and destroying marriages and little kids' lives and shit. Oh well, to them your girl is just some throwaway. She's just some, like, and for you that's like, y'all been together, blah blah. Here it is, and this nigga just gonna use her as a plaything and toss her to the side, and she's gonna be cool with it because of what we said, hypergamy. She's gonna be cool with it. She gonna agree with it because how a woman was created. A woman was created to look up to the best men. She was created to. That's why in the kingdom they're gonna be in total submission towards you, because you're gonna be in a total power position. It's how things are. In today's world, they don't look at you like that, because they look at some demon like this with a little bit of change or a little bit of persuasion, and a few attributes, and then here it is, they'll submit to them before they'll get with a regular so-called good guy in the world. Because these people that are wicked in the world, they prosper. They use their ways, their skills and wickedness, so that they could attract 10, 15 men and women to do some weird nefarious shit with their bodies. All right. It says that they left the natural use of the woman, burned in their lust one towards another. And they was talking about how they was saying that there was diseases going on around there and shit like that, and amongst that little cult. All right, which ultimately, that's what happens, as the Lord said, Romans the 1st chapter. That's what happens when you give over to lewdness and lasciviousness, and you're giving over to that flesh. You're giving over to that Babylonian spirit, that Sin City spirit. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Hey, well, that's the what they called it, Carbon Nation. That was their cult, Carbon Nation. Well, that's what they called themselves. And what they was doing a lot more than is acceptable, man. Romans 1 and verse 24. Wherefore the Most High also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and worship this and serve the creature more than Creator, who is blessed forevermore. You had these people worshiping this guy more than the Creator. more than the Father and the Son. But they was never, you never heard the mention of the Father and the Son and the word, the name of the Most High, and we're the Israelites and blah blah blah. They wasn't saying none of that. They wasn't saying none of that. They their whole worry was about what the fuck this guy was saying. They didn't bring out no scriptures. They was worried about protecting this man's image and all that, you know. So it was a totally a fleshly thing. It was all about smashing. It was all, that's what that shit was all about. It was all about smashing, doing drugs. But when you do drugs, you become you reach in this ethereal state, right? Because as I did the video before with your boy Davey on the cover, his ass it served as a good template. But when you when you do drugs, you open yourself up to demons, right? When you do heavy drugs, and them niggas, they're probably doing some LSD, some hard shit. You know, they're definitely smoking probably some mushrooms here and there, like your boy Wrath of Heaven, Mr. Mushroom Man. He was he started seeing shit, bugging out, talking about and he was another one that was really into the whole women thing. Always about, every video is about the fucking woman. You got it. Every video is about the woman and you know. But yeah, it's the hidden man. It's the mushroom, brother, the mushroom. So hey, when you start doing that type of shit, DMT and all that shit, you start like losing your fucking mind, you know. And you start delving into weird sex rituals and magic and shit like that. Now, because the brain is the flesh, if you will, is a very nefarious thing. It's a treacherous thing. Who can know it? As the scripture say, who can know it? So here it is, your ass, you start experimenting, doing weird shit, man. And that's when your ass become a mo. And these dudes become mo's to start, living this alternative lifestyle and shit, painting their nails. Start with painting your nails and getting your fucking pedicure and manicure and all this weird shit, cutting yourself, getting all lined up and stuff. And that was feminine too, anyways. And growing up, they used to tell you like get it lined up and shit. That's just feminine, man. And it's wicked. All right, long hair and all that shit. That's just feminine. All right, if you look at the way their forefathers, you know what I'm saying. Even my dad growing up, I never seen that man with long hair. I never seen him with long hair. And I remember one time I had my shit long, and he really didn't talk to me like that. Well, he did, of course. I'm his son, but like he you could just tell, like, but he'll fuck around, and joke about it, sometimes. But I never had super long hair. I just had like, but I was like 17 or some shit like that, long many moons ago, But anywho, it says, for this cause the Most High gave them to vile affections like Magic Johnson. Them type of niggas, they're giving up to vile affections, man, and that's why they end up contracting AIDS and all kind of shit, Which you could get that from a woman anyways, but or whatever the hell. But more so, when you're dealing with obscene sodomite acts. That's why the scripture say the sodomite seed shall be cast out, man. Because here it is, man. As you read in 2 Peter, the 2nd chapter. All right, you got just lot vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. The Lord gonna consume these people, man, because it's a vile affection. It says, for even when their women did change the natural use of that which is against nature. Yeah, you could tell all them women was into each other. You could tell they done tasted each other a few times, because look, the act of sex should be a sacred thing between you and your virgin, all right, you and your woman. All right, in this world it's impossible basically to deal with a virgin. So you and your woman, y'all should this should just be, it's like a thing where in this world it's just nothing. It's just nothing. Your ass, I mean, you see it growing up, bro. Like it's nothing, man. Their ass is 12 years old in some fucking bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Getting recorded, all kind of shit, man. It's a wicked world you live in. It's a cold world. It's a cold, dirty world you live in, man. 27 verse. And likewise, also the men leaving the natural use of the women, burn in their lusts, one towards another, man with men, working that which is unseemly. and their recompense of their error, which was meat, even as they did not like to retain the Most High in their knowledge. The Most High gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. And you can see that all them damn little the moles and them little them women were straight reprobates, man. All right, because they were all underlings to foolish niggas, a foolish nigga. All right, and they're over there, throwing up his little Baphomet. And they're totally convinced. Scripture say, "Let every man be fully persuaded in his mind about this truth." Hey, these people was fully convinced. Hey, they're on fire for that. They're out there, they're out there covering themselves up and showing up at court and shit, supporting it. They'll be the ones talking about the true men of the Lord, the Israelites, man, the brothers, out there on the street. Oh yeah, why y'all out there teaching? Y'all out there teaching, you know. So yeah, it's a filthy world we live in, man. They say Ezekiel chapter 24 and verse 12 says she wearied herself with lies, and her great scum went not forth out of her. Her scum shall be in the fire, and thy filthiness is lewdness, because I have purged thee, and thou was not purged, when thou shalt not be purged from thy filthiness anymore, till I have caused my fury to rest upon thee. And the Lord gonna send his fury upon these niggas, man. All right, cause that's what they deserve, man. All right. What goes on in this society, man, right now is some lewdness going on. Right at that house over there. They're doing some lewdness, man. They're sacrificing to Caesarea. They're doing all kinds of shit, dishonoring their bodies and their spirit. It says Hosea 2 and verse 10, it says, "Now will I discover her lewdness in the sight of her lovers, and none shall deliver her out of my hand. I said, I will cause her mirth to cease, yeah, and her feast days, her new moons, and her Sabbaths, and all her solemn feasts." All right, so yeah, the Lord gonna cause the mirth of this of Jake to cease, man, in the society. It could have they shall not drink wine with a song. So it said Tobit chapter 4 and verse 13 says, "Now therefore, my son, love thy brethren, and despise not in heart thy brethren, thy sons and thy daughters of thy people, and not taking a wife of them. For in pride and destruction and much trouble, and in lewdness is much decay and great want. For lewdness is the mother of famine." All right, lewdness is the mother of famine, man. The lewdness, that's what's gonna bring this guy to a piece of bread. For means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, not even in jail, by means of a whorish woman. But you let yourself get seduced, ultimately, man, because it's ultimately, yes, in this society they control the, whether or not you're gonna pop them or not. But ultimately, you decide if you're gonna deal with her or not. All right, and you got to understand that with most of these damn women, everything is just upside down, man. So this is not your kingdom, and you are not to be out there seeking, to deal with too many women right now, as it stands. Oh, Proverbs is the 6th chapter, yep, and verse 26. "For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is a light, and reproof of instructions are the way of life." to keep thee from the evil woman, from the flattery of the tongue of a strange woman. Lust not after her beauty in thy heart, neither let her be taken or take thee with her eyelids. So like, for by means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the present life. Yeah. By means of a whorish woman, a man is brought to a piece of bread. You brought to prison. Many have run out their wits for the woman. All that shit was just so you could have all them damn women. Which ultimately I'm sure was nice. Foolish, which the word foolish means nice. Or nice means foolish, I should say. But you did something that most dudes could never do in this world. They couldn't get that one woman, and getting all them damn women like that. That's a that they'll consider that something, but that's wicked at the end of the day. In this world, there was people that actually was supporting that shit, which ultimately that shit was wicked. You're not supposed to if you're gonna get these women, they're getting order. Let all things be done decently and in order, man. All right. Having your wives is not for you to just have a constant orgy with their asses. They're all supposed to be really your property, and you're supposed to take care of them like you take care of your small baby child, man. Like, because a woman is a baby. She's a big ass baby. They're all just nothing but babies. That's all. With a that the rattlesnake has the that's it, the little baby rattlesnake. That's the woman, in a manner of speaking, man. But it says Proverbs 6 verse 26 says, for by means of a whorish woman a man is brought to a piece of bread, and the adulteress will hunt for the precious life. So they saw the little precious life that they could have got out of this guy, which I guess they was living all right, because they did take some shots where they was in some big ass house or whatever, which it could be a one-time thing or whatever. Maybe they lost it or whatnot, but they was moving from country to country. They said they was in Central America and all that shit, because they was bringing the American dollar down there, and that's of course that it's worth much more in these areas, man. They was cashing out their life insurance and shit for this nigga. All right. So by means of a whorish woman, you brought to a piece of bread, man. Even though, because these kind of things, it says, set not your heart on riches, it's unjustly gotten, man. Okay, and that's not the way to build yourself up, if you will. You can't depend on a woman, and you can't finesse. You can't finesse the Most High. You cannot finesse the Most High. You cannot finesse the Lord. They got this weird ass traffic jam right now, but you can't run away from the arms of justice, man. All right. No matter what you do, like me and a brother ran into this pimp the other day. We'd be laughing about it, but we ran into this pimp, man, and the dude had a bunch of cars, I guess his brother said. But it is what it is. Like, all that shit's gonna come to naught, because no matter how you slice it, you're always gonna be looking behind your back, and that's why it says a little that a righteous man have is better than the riches of many wicked. So anyways, it says Sirach 5 and verse 7, make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, put not off the Lord from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed, and then perish in the day of thy vengeance. Set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. Right? So, hey, riches, they get wings and they fly away. All right. They have a way of disappearing. All right. Because it's not your rest, man. All right. If you're using your rest, it would never leave you. All right. Your woman never leave you. Nothing will ever change, man. But in this world, shit is uncertain, and the, one minute your ass in a sex court, the next minute your ass is in prison for the rest of your life. And what you thought was, oh yeah, because hey, the Lord will choose your strong delusions, man. All right. So it says, set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten. Anything that you do that's like, that's wicked will always, you know what I'm saying, like scamming and shit like that. Even though, yeah, Jake got to do what they got to do in society, but like when you out there scamming and taking out loans in other people's names and doing all kind of shit, it's a fraud, man. And you you're just moving shiesty. That's like these guys, they were all shiesty, grimy motherfuckers. All right, a den of thieves, ain't no honor among thieves. So it says, verse 9, winnow not with every wind and go not every way, so doth the sinner to have the double tongue. Be steadfast in thy understanding, let thy word be the same. Be swift to hear and let thy life be sincere, and with patience give answer. Yeah, so be steadfast in thy understanding. You're supposed to be firmly rooted in this truth. Can't no crazy cult leader come up there and seduce your ass. The scripture say, Matthew the 24th chapter, if it be at all possible, they shall deceive the very elect. All right, so it's not possible. It's not in the realm of possibility that the election will be deceived by such a conman, a cheap oil salesman, a snake oil salesman. That's what these guys are, charlatans. But they come up there and the scripture say what? They lead away captive laden silly women, laden with diverse lusts, all right, and things of that nature, right? What's a diverse lust? They deal with these porn star looking dudes. These dudes are probably like into that weird shit, and it is what it is. They learn some shit, and then they put them drugs on these people. They put these spells on these people, and if you know what you're doing, that's how the pimps do it. The pimps do. This is a spiritual pimps, because they keep amongst the circle, and they use the woman. The woman is supposed to serve you, but you ain't supposed to. You're supposed to use and abuse the daughters of Zion. All right. It says you shall not there shall be no whores of the daughters of Zion. I believe it's Deuteronomy 23:17. Right. So you shall. You're supposed to. It says give due benevolence unto the wife. Right. You got wives. If it says what, you shall not decrease their raiment. All right. They shall all be treated right, and they all supposed to be in order. And that shit was out of order because they was over there sticking tongues up places and shit, doing all kind of shit and doing all kind of wickedness. At the end of the day, it says what? Romans 1 and 25 and 26 on down. All right. They left the natural use of the woman, burned their lust one towards another. All right. Served the creature more than the creator. And ultimately did that which is unseemly and brought upon themselves swift destruction. So that's why the scripture say the lust of the flesh and the pride of life. All right. And that's what was exhibited in that little news with the guy Nature Boy, man. But yeah, now they're in the spiritual realm, and the Lord will bring them back as Israelites, as one of your sons or something like that, but yeah, once they be destroyed, that is, because they ain't gonna make it too far. But yeah, it says 8th verse, set not thy heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity. So now you're doing life in prison because of the unsatiable lust, lewdness, and just straight wickedness, man. All right, that was going on there. A man shall answer, for the things he does in the body. Galatians 5:16. This I say then, walk ye in the spirit, and ye fulfill not the lust of the flesh, for the lust of the flesh is against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. these are contrary the one to another, so that you cannot do the things that you would. But if you be led of the Spirit, you're not under the law, right? The scripture say we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully, right? But this was a unlawful use of your scripture say what? All things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. 1 Corinthians 6 and 12. But I will not be brought under the power of any. So you're not supposed to be brought under the power of your rod. You're supposed to control it to the point where you can't let unsatiable, unbridled lust be the downfall of you. All right. Yes, it's cool. Everybody loves to deal with women, man, and I'm the first one. I'll tell you. Okay, nah, just fuck with you. But hey, it is what it is, man. All right, we love our women. All right, and we're Israelite men. If you don't, that means you're dead. First Kings, the first chapter. All right, they want to see if King David was still alive, and they brought him the damsel, the beautiful damsel from the coast that they were looking for. They said, "Give my king some heat." No king was able. The king was not able to get no heat. So hey, but that's what the woman's for, man. But anywho, all right. In the kingdom I have, when all hell breaks loose, the women will come, and then you can worry about having the women, because at the end of the day, they're gonna be paying their way by giving themselves over to you and doing what they're told. All right, so they're gonna take care of themselves anyway. The Lord said, they said what? Let us only be called by thy name, that take away our reproach. We will eat our own food, right, and wear our own raiment, and so on and so forth. But hey, the time for all that will come when this society collapses and all that shit. Then everything's in the power or the hands of the Most High, and He's gonna give it to you. It says, in that time, many shall be weary, right? But you shall be merry and have abundance. Second the second chapter. So, anyways, with that, call Halayim La, Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakak Kodash. A double honors to the apostle of the great millstone. Peace, citation to the elect. Shalom. Shalom.